Hi everybody, welcome to the fifth section of your chapter 14. Here we talk about qualitative variables such as, for example, male or female. Up to now, if you notice, we've had only quantitative variables. Let's take a look at the data that we had. High school GPA is a number. English placement score is a number. Math placement score is a number. Business intelligence GPA is a number, and we are trying to see if these three independent variables can, in fact, predict this dependent variable. Okay, now we have a gender here. Gender, such as male or female, is not a quantitative variable, but we could use dummy variables for qualitative variables that have two states. Okay, for example, your gender has two states, either male or female, and I can denote male with 0, female with 1. Now, can I say female is 0 and male is 1? Absolutely, I can, as long as in the beginning I tell the reader what am I doing. Am I saying male is 0 or female is 0? As long as I do that. So here I am basically saying that this first information is from a man, second, third, fourth information is from a female. The next three are from men, and the last two are from females. So these are the records. That's what the records show. Okay, so let's take another example. In our class, we could do a regression analysis based on some quantitative variable and also a qualitative variable called your nationality. Okay, I can go ahead and say, okay, I will group all Thai people. Every time I see a 1, I know it's a Thai person, and every time I see a 0, I know it's a non-Thai person. Okay, so these are dummy variables which help us to take care of qualitative variables. Okay, so let's jump into the question here. So I want to see if these can in fact predict my business intelligence. Okay, so the first thing that we do, I need to go ahead and assume the gender variable doesn't exist. So I just put it aside, okay, and assume we had the same problem that we started with. So I go to data analysis, regression. Y, which is the dependent variable, is business intelligence GPA, and everything else is my independent variable. Label, output range, and I put it here. That's fine. Okay, then we learned how to do the global testing. Okay, let's say my alpha is 5%, and in fact we did use 5%. Okay, is this less than 5%? Yes, so it tells me at least one of these are okay. Okay, is this less than 5%? Yes, so this is okay. High school GPA is okay. These two are not less than 5%, so these two are not okay. But I learned to get rid of the one which is highest, so I get rid of English placement score. Okay, so let me go ahead and take these and put them in the next spot. Okay, and I need to go ahead and get rid of English placement score. Delete. Okay, so one more time, data analysis, regression. Okay, business intelligence is my Y variable, and high school GPA and math placement score is my X variable. So I go ahead and put it in F1. Okay, one more time. Okay, is this less than 5%? Yes, so at least one of these two is okay. Is this less than 5%? Yes, so this one is okay. Is this less than 5%? No, so I need to go ahead and remove that. Okay, so I go ahead and take this, copy, put it in the next page. I do that only to have a nice clean spot to work with. So data analysis, regression, my so what did we get rid of here? We got rid of the math placement test. Okay, so I need to go ahead and get rid of the math placement test. Okay, now I go to data analysis, regression. I need to have business intelligence in my Y, this one in my X, and everything else is fine. Okay, so now, is this one less than 5%? Yes. Well, if this is less than 5%, automatically that is going to be the same and less than 5%. So my final equation of regression is right here, minus 0.45424 plus 1.1588 x1, and x1 is my high school GPA. Now that I have done that, let me go ahead and put dummy variable 2 and dummy variable 3. That way I am nice and organized. Okay, so now I go ahead and get the gender. That's what I did not use. So when I have my quantitative variables, I always take care of my quantitative variables first, okay, and then I put the qualitative variables. So I got rid of all those quantitative variables that I do not want, okay, until I came to the final conclusion here. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Then I'm gonna go ahead and give it a spot here, insert, okay, and now I will go ahead and put the GPA. Okay, good. Okay, so now I have everything that I want. Okay, and let me go ahead and make this like that. Okay, now I go ahead and go over the whole thing. So what was the whole procedure? I go ahead and do my quantitative variables the way I did in the previous examples, and after I am done with all the global testing and individual testing for my quantitative variables, then I put my qualitative variable there and I do another regression analysis. So this one is my Y variable and everything else is my X variable. Okay, and F1 is just fine. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Okay, so one more time, just remember my alpha is 5%. Alpha is 5%, correct? Okay, so global test. Is this less than alpha? Yes, so it shows that at least one of these variables are okay. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this one here. Okay, is that less than alpha? Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at gender. Is that less than 5%? No, so I simply have to get rid of it. Okay, so up to now, this is the coefficient y. Let me write my regression coefficients. Y with a hat on top of it is equal to negative 0.756 or 77 plus 1.2 x1 plus 0.03 x2. Okay, so now with qualitative variable, how do I interpret this? Okay, I would say I always put a 1, right? So this basically is saying that a female would have 0.3 more GPA than a male, okay? because we assume female is 1. A female, if your gender is a female, you are expected to have 0.3 more GPA. However, this shows that it is not significant. So what do? I need to go ahead and get rid of gender and do the problem one more time. So once I do the problem one more time with getting rid of the gender, I get the same thing that I got previously. Data analysis, regression. I have my y value here, and I have my x value here. Everything else is fine. Okay, the testing here is fine. Global test, the individual test is fine. So I end up having the very last equation of regression that I had before. Okay, so at the end of this problem, the only thing that can affect your business intelligence GPA is your high school GPA, not your gender, not your math placement score, or your English placement score. And that's the end of section 14.5.